with my partner Ayuna Ibrahim, and we'll be teaching you how to identify the characters within the drama. While waiting for your friends coming in the Google Meet, I let you guys watch the movie or the drama first. But while watching this drama, please jot down how many characters or what are the name characters that you found within the drama first. Okay, can you guys do that?
Yes, teacher.
Good job.
Relaxing at a beautiful hotel in Paris with the cutest French boy smiling at you from across the pool is just perfectly splendid in every way. My personal assistant slash best friend Lexi rushed towards me while holding a letter. She read it out loud. Fancy a date on my yacht tonight? Meet me at 7 on the harbor. The boy across the pool winked at me. That night, I learned that his name was Pierre, and he treated me like a princess. But our splendid date was interrupted by a panicked call from Lexi. Your dad's secretary called, and he's just sent the jet for us to leave right now. Ugh, he must have been mad because I'd been absent from school for a week now. I so didn't need school. I said my goodbyes to Pierre, who said he wanted to see me again. But I just smiled and left. Oh, hey there. My name is Blair, and I have an almost perfect life. I'm as smart as Einstein himself. There's only one little problem. I'm dyslexic, but it's no big deal because I have Lexi to read everything for me. I used to be number one in literally everything, but things took a wild turn when a foreign exchange student joined our class. Please hit that subscribe button before I tell you my whole story. The next day, my limo dropped Lexi and me off at our school, a very expensive private one, where only families with a net worth of at least $1 billion can attend. Blair, watch out! I screamed when I saw an angry dog charging towards me. What was it doing here? Pets aren't allowed. Francesca, my arch nemesis, picked it up while laughing at me. Good boy, she whispered, but I heard it. This insecure brat always found a way to ruin my day. Oh, hey, Blair. I'm giving out our newest luxury product, this $1 million perfume, for free. I thought you might need one. Thanks, Francesca, but I'd rather donate it to charity. The principal appeared and got angry when she saw her dog. Our dog mansion, with 10 floors, is currently being renovated, so my baby needs to roll with me. Ugh, what a show off. The principal shut her mouth when Francesca gave her a stupid perfume, too. In the middle of class, I suddenly forgot how to breathe when the most gorgeous boy that I'd ever seen walked in. Everyone, I would like you all to meet Terrence, a foreign exchange student from Korea, and he will be with us for this school year. We were all speechless as we looked at him. Francesca immediately offered her seat, but Terrence just headed quietly to the back. Our math teacher then started the discussion and suddenly asked us to solve the area of a stadium on our tables. Such a no-brainer. The answer is, it's 69,963 square meters. We all turned to Terrence like we'd seen a ghost. He'd answered before me. Like, how? After class, all the girls flocked around him, including Lexi. I tried to smile at him too, but he didn't smile back. What a snob. I snatched Lexi away from him and told her to cut it out. Do that again and I'll fire you. Oh, come on, Blair. He's literally perfect. He's like Lee Min-ho. He's not my type. Terrence might have heard that because he turned to me, but so what? He snubbed me, and first impressions last. Every year, our principal holds an auction party, and this year, all the proceeds would be going to poor children in Africa. The last item to be auctioned was a beautiful pearl with a special history. It cost around $50 million. As expected, Francesca and I started the bidding battle. 100 million, 200 million, 500 million. 1 billion. Then the principal asked if anyone wanted to go any higher. Lexi leaned closer to me and tried to stop me, but I couldn't let Francesca win. 2 billion. 10 billion. Silence filled the room when a male voice joined in and said, $100 billion. Everyone turned to the back. It was Terrence again. He really was something else. The principal declared, wow, that's a new record. Sold. My eyebrows shot up when I saw Francesca offering him a handshake. In a flirty way. Lexi said, I think you two look better together. Ew, stop that, Lexi. He's a snob and only loves his phone. During our finals week, as usual, I took a special oral exam because of my reading condition. When the results came back the next day, the blood drained from my face when I didn't see my name at the top spot. It was Terrence. He hadn't even been in our school a full year. Then Francesca appeared from nowhere and said, just accept the fact that you're a loser now, Blair. I asked Lexi to do some research on Terrence. I needed to know what was up with him. He seemed like the love child of Einstein and Bill Gates. One day, while I was rushing to the toilet, I bumped into him and tripped over. Jeez, his chest was as hard as a tree. I looked up at him and met his cold, brown eyes. I was expecting him to offer his hand, but the jerk skipped past me like I was trash on the floor. I'd never felt so humiliated. It was the first time a guy had ignored me. Lexi came to the rescue and helped me to my feet. He helped me when I tripped out of my helicopter yesterday. Sorry, girl, but you're not his type. Francesca's comment made me furious. Thank God Lexi calmed me down, or else. During lunch, Lexi told me that she'd finally finished her research on Terrence. He was a young CEO in Korea, and his company develops games and software. That's why he's always on his phone. So, He's a self-made billionaire. Interesting. I was on my way to our campus's art center one time, and I stopped when I saw a board ahead. It had some words on it. Francesca and her friends were right behind me, but I didn't want to ask her for help, so I tried to read it myself. It seemed to be saying something about a vacation. I ignored the sign and continued walking. Suddenly, the ground under me collapsed. Someone caught me right on time before I was buried alive. I looked up to see my savior. It was Terrence. He let me go and dusted his uniform off. Don't you know how to read? It says deep excavation ahead. I have dyslexia. Anyway, thanks for saving my life. Just be careful next time. My heartbeat was still going fast as I watched him walk away. A few days later, the principal announced the annual competition between private schools called the Battle of the Brains. I was so ecstatic when I was picked again to represent our school. I always aced it. The problem was the competition would be all about teamwork, so I needed a partner. And Terrence was picked. Lexi came up to me and said, "Oh my God, I ship you both. This is going to be fun." I ignored Lexi's stupid comment and told Terrence to meet me in the music room. We needed to talk about the competition. While I was waiting for him, I started playing the piano. I couldn't finish the song because I forgot the keys. Just in time, he arrived and continued for me. We were so close to each other and it felt really weird. I was about to move, but the way he played was hypnotizing. I flinched when I felt a spark as our fingers touched. He looked down at me after he finished playing. "That's how you do it. I don't need piano lessons right now. We need to plan a strategy. Just focus on the spelling. Memorize the letters of the longest words, and we'll be fine. Don't underestimate me, Terrence. How about you? Are you going to study?" The dummy answered me with a poker face and left the room. Sometimes I really hated his guts and his gorgeous face. And seriously, he was so confusing. The competition day finally came, and we were totally silent during the ride. He later fell asleep on my shoulder, and I went stiff as a board. Should I move my shoulder, or should I let him sleep in peace? The limo passed over a rough road, which woke him up. He looked up at me, and I immediately looked away. "Can you, scoot over? You're in my personal space." My heartbeat went back to normal when he moved. I was so nervous during the game, but as expected, we made it to the final round. Terrence won the versus round against another boy, and then it was my turn. I needed to win this so we would be the winners already. I was shocked when the announcer said that it was a spelling round. Oh no. Spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Terrence gave me an encouraging look. I focused and wrote down all the letters according to my memory. I felt like passing out from nervousness when I slowly raised my answer. Correct. I jumped around in happiness and found myself hugging Terrence. When I realized what I was doing, I immediately pulled away. He then patted my head and smiled at me for the first time, and I must admit, he looked even more gorgeous. "You did great." "Well, thanks for your advice." Lexi showed up to congratulate us. "Oh my gosh, you guys were so good. You two should get married already." Ugh, Lexi and her random fangirling. Terrence smiled at me in the hallway the next day, and it made me feel something in my stomach. What a miracle that he wasn't wearing his headphones and holding his phone in front of his face. Suddenly, the girls started screaming. I went to see what was happening and was shocked to see Pierre in our school uniform. He was showing everyone my pictures that he took on his phone. "Oh, finally. There's my girl." Pierre immediately walked up to me and kissed me on the cheek. "What are you doing here?" "I told you. I wanted to see you again. I enrolled in your school just to be with you." I didn't know what to say. Pierre kept following me around and it bothered me. I wanted to turn him down, but I felt bad for breaking a nice guy's heart. "Mademoiselle, come. I have a surprise for you." I told Pierre that I still had a class, but he grabbed my arm and was about to pull me outside when someone grabbed my other arm. It was Terrence. "Come on, we're running late already." Everyone stopped in their tracks to watch. Terrence and Pierre were glaring at each other, and there I was, looking like a statue between them. Neither of them wanted to let me go, and it was so awkward. I caught Lexi's eye and gave her the signal to help me. She acted like she sprained her ankle and purposefully fell on Pierre. Lexi then winked at me as Pierre turned to help her. She was the best. I didn't know how to get rid of Pierre over the next few days. Terrence started avoiding me too. Once, when I went into class, Pierre winked at me and told me to come and sit next to him. I said, "Pierre, I just want to be clear that you're not my boyfriend." Yet. That night, Francesca threw a party on her own private island and invited everyone. I didn't want to go, but Pierre was so persistent. During the party, he was telling me about his plan to buy a resort in Paris. He was talking nonstop while all I could think about was Terrence. I wished he was here. I signaled Lexi to start our plan. I excused myself to the restroom as she came over and I let her entertain Pierre. I sneaked out and found myself in a beautiful garden. While I was smelling some flowers, I suddenly felt someone's presence beside me. I turned to see Terrence. "You're here. I didn't think you'd come." "Francesca came over to my place yesterday and invited me." What? I wanted to ask him what else she did at his place, but I chickened out. He was looking up at the sky and suddenly a snowflake dropped on his forehead and he slowly closed his eyes. It was a beautiful moment and I just found myself staring. It's first snow of the year. Is it? He seemed to be so happy about it, and I wondered why. "Where's your boyfriend?" "He's not my boyfriend. I just met him in Paris last time I was there." "I'm relieved." "What do you mean?" The snow continued falling over us. He stepped closer and suddenly kissed me on the forehead. "I like you, Blair." I wasn't expecting that. My heartbeat was so loud I was shaking. Moments later, I finally gave in to my attraction. I think I like you too. "Let's get out of here." I told him that only my dad had access to our helicopter. He just gave me a smug smile and said, "That's not a problem." Did he plan ahead or what? The helicopter flew us to a beautiful place, and while we were enjoying the marvelous view beneath us, I felt his hand holding mine. It gave me an electric feeling. I'd never felt this way before. After our helicopter date, he brought me to this Korean restaurant and made me taste their delicious specialties. We fought over the bill, and he won and paid for it. I then gave the waiter a tip. A key to a car. That's very generous of you, but I prefer giving tips like this. He gave the waiter a business card and told him that his secretary would assist him in enrolling in the school of his choice. Education is more important, Blair. Oh, he was wiser than I thought. It was almost midnight when we strolled in the park. When I complained about my high heels hurting my feet, he gave me a piggyback ride. This man had never failed to surprise me. We were inseparable over the next few weeks, while Lexi always ended up distracting Pierre. One day, Terrence was teaching me Korean when Lexi kept calling me. I was enjoying our session, so I ignored her calls. Later that day, I was on my way to my locker when I saw Francesca's dog again. It started chasing me and I ran into the nearest room. While I was catching my breath, I was surprised to see Pierre in there too. Bonjour, mademoiselle. Miss me?
Okay, that's all for now because I want you guys to keep on guessing what our the ending would be. I like to see your energy right here. You guys really enjoy the drama, isn't it? And as I've mentioned before, the task for you guys is to write down the characters. Have you guys did that? No?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Anis, can you tell me how many characters did you found within the drama?
Uh, I found like 5 characters in the drama just now.
Five. Good job. Can you name them?
Sure. The first one is the main character. Her name is Blair, and followed by Lexi, her best friend, and then Pierre, Terence, and also Francesca. That's all.
So five of them. So that means you really focus in the class, okay? Wait, I'm presenting to you. Hello, can you guys see the campus?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Okay. As mentioned, every character has his or her role to play in a story, just like other actors or actress has a role to play in a drama. A role is something's purpose, meaning, and function. Even though characters in a story may seem real or unreal, animated maybe, there are still a narrative element like plot or setting. Like all narrative elements, characters are ingredients that make the story what it is. If a story were like a painting and all the narrative elements were brush strokes, consider the main character one of the most prominent strokes. Can you identify the characters? I would like to ask these questions to Fatin. Can you identify again all of the characters? Maybe some of them are the same characters as was mentioned by Anis. Just the character name. Okay, good job. Okay, next. Okay, next topic is how to identify the MC. What is MC? MC is the main character. As the first clue is the story is about a boy or a girl. As the narrator will mention at the first of the drama. The narrator mostly will explain detail about the MC within the story. And the most basic way to analyze a main character's roles is to look at how she or he affects the plot. As the narrator mentions it all, the events that unfold in the story, and how the MC affects the plot depends on her or his personality, situation, problems, and feelings, as the narrator will always talking about her or him all of the time, explaining how she feels, what she wants, what problem that she had been through, the background story, and so on. Now, let's go to the next clues. The next clues is there are always two sides of every story. Do you guys remember when Lexi started to whisper to Blair, wow, he seems very handsome, like that. That's how we can say that there are two sides of every story, where main characters usually influence the characters around them too, and they can harm, encourage, teach, frustrate, or change the antagonist or another minor character. Layered dynamic interactions between characters in a story demonstrate the depth and the quality of their relationship, mapping the characters' personalities and relationship to each other on a piece of paper can help one visualize the role of the character concerning others in the story, how their relationship affects how we see the story. If the main character says, she's my best friend, and the reader will think that, okay, this girl is her best friend and my best friends too. That. And the third clue is when the narrator or the storyteller telling us, this is my story. Or you can say that when the main character will mention in the story or written in the dialogue like, this story is about my life. This is based on my experience and like that. And a narrator, as we know, part of the main character's roles is to get the reader invested in the book, the short story, or the drama. And if the reader doesn't care about the main character and what will happen to him or her, that means they don't care about the book. And a narrator elicits interest in the protagonist through several means, including empathy and self-identification. The readers will pity to her and begins to hope for her future. From the empathy feelings, readers can identify the arrogant, the hesitant, the fearful, or the sadness feelings from the main character. It makes the reader to be eager to finish the novel to see how the characters surmount all of the problems or the challenges, and they will be attached to the drama or to the story from the beginning until the end of the story. Why? Because the reader will usually imagine as they are the main character. So based on this explanation, can you guys guess who are the main characters? Just unmute your mic. Is it Blair, Terence, Francesca, Lexi, or Pierce? Can anybody answer me? Fine. Blair, good job. It's Blair. Wow, how can you guys identify that? Why? Because as she's mentioned, this is all about her story. Good job. Congratulations. You guys get it right. Okay, next. You guys really did a good job today and your energy was very amazing. We'll continue to the next part. We're going to learn about types of characters in literature. The first type is protagonist. The protagonist is the hero or heroine of a story. A traditional protagonist has a goal, something she wants. She may not achieve this goal, but by pursuing it, she moves the plot forward. The protagonist undergoes character development from the start until the end during the course of the story. She will not precisely the same person at the end as she was at the beginning, as the direct result of the story events. How can I say that? Because we can see her changing, maybe in her behavior, lifestyle, or mindset, and we know her up and downs within the story that have been told, even the struggle that she had to overwhelm, every predicament in her life, and every experience that she had been through, we know it already. And the experience that she went through make her or him stronger. So do us, the reader. Mostly, the protagonist teach us to never give up, to be strong, and always persevere in our life. Now, go to the second type is antagonist. This sounds a bit familiar because you guys have learned literature, right? So the antagonist stands in opposition to a protagonist's goals. An antagonist does not need to be evil or even malicious, but he or she needs to be a suitable impediment for a protagonist in order to generate high stakes of conflicts within the story. Antagonists always be a stopper for the protagonist's goals, and sometimes they can be considered as a betrayer, cheater, or a mean character. And mostly antagonists are against the protagonist. Like they might do something harm to the protagonist in order to stop the protagonist from achieving her or his goal. So we have to be aware of this protagonist character either in animated series or in our real life. And okay, now the third type is the foil. The foil is the protagonist's counterpart. Don't get confused with the antagonist against the protagonist. But the foil actually enhances the protagonist's character, who helps the story generate additional dramatic or comic tensions, while antagonist is directly opposed to the protagonist's aims. The foil serves as more of a contrast to the protagonist's personality. Often, the foil brings out the protagonist's lighter side or causes the protagonist to think about the story's problem in a new way. And the foil actually functions to enhance the protagonist's character. They are usually the second lead of the drama that change the protagonist, maybe change the protagonist behavior, maybe change her feelings, or maybe change her judgmental behavior. It can be anything. And okay, last but not least, the stock character. Most stories and novels have roles for minor characters which can be quickly characterized and made familiar to the audience of their era. These characters do not develop dramatically to the extent the protagonist does, but perform more limited roles to help advance the story. He or she may be the helper for the protagonist or maybe the helper to the antagonist. They might be kind or might be mean. And in a conclusion, stock characters are the remaining characters after the protagonist, after the antagonist, and after the foil. And it can be more than one person. As I've mentioned, it was the remaining character. Okay, now it's quiz time. Who do you think is the protagonist? Come on, we're going to answer me. Is it Blair or is it Terrence? Can you unmute your mic because I can't see the...
Teacher,
Yeah.
I think it's Blair.
Are you sure? Is it Anis?
Yes, it's Anis here.
Okay, Anis. Are you sure?
Yes, because protagonist is the main character. So Blair is the main character in this story. So I think yes, she is the protagonist.
Wow, such a brilliant answer. Drum roll. Yes, the protagonist is Blair. Good job. Now, next question. Who do you think is the antagonist, the mean one? Is it Blair? We're going to answer my questions. Any volunteer? You can unmute your mic. Is it Blair, Terrence, Francesca, Lexi, or Pierre? Come on. Francesca, Hafizah said Francesca. Good job. Wait. Okay, drum roll. Yay, Francesca! Next, who do you think is a foil? Don't get confused between a foil and the antagonist. Come on. Next, we're going to answer me. Can you unmute your mic because I can't. It's quite hard to see the chat box. Ain, are you there? Hello? Shamimi Azman said it Terrence. Is that right? Okay. Yay! It's Terrence! You guys are such a brilliant students. I love the energy right here. Okay, next question. So now we know that Lexi and Pierre are what? They are known as stop what, Anis? Can you unmute your mic?
They are stock characters, teachers.
Are you sure? Drum.
Yes.
Yay! Anis is so excellent today. Okay, that's all from me. I hope you guys remain the energy with our next lesson. Okay, stay tuned. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. Are you guys good? Are you guys good?
Yeah.
Okay, so how about the video that shown by teacher Aishah just now? Is it good?
Yes. We had fun with the drama just now.
Okay. So for second lesson, we are going to talk about character traits. Character trait is a part of person's behavior or attitude that makes up their personalities. Everyone has characters traits, both are good and bad, even the characters in books. Character traits are often shown with descriptive adjectives such as like patient, faithful, or jealous. Okay, next. Okay, there have been difference between characters' feelings and characters' trait. Characters' feeling is feeling are the character's emotional response to the action around them. It's about feelings. So in for the character traits, traits tell us who is the character is, and trait is usually seen through actions such as in outside, like confident, optimistic, caring, leader, thoughtful, and etc. Okay, next. Okay, based on the character traits that you see from the video just now, I want all of you just pick any character that you want and list down their character's traits. I will give you in 2 minutes. Is that okay? Okay. And then I will randomly call upon someone to answer. Your 2 minutes may start now. Okay. I Okay, so for
Done.
okay, back to the characters. Okay, who wants to tell the characters trait based on the characters given? Any volunteer? Patin?
Patin.
Patin, can you?
See the slides. Or maybe we can give a chance to other students who want to volunteer.
Yes. Yes. If you want to what write it in chat box, it also can.
I can't see the participants. Just...
Anyone?
Hi, teacher.
Hi.
I would like to tell about Blair.
Yes. You proceed.
First one, Blair is intelligent and beautiful, like Amnisha Vika said. And Blair also is dyslexia and a judgmental person. That's all.
Wow, that's very good. Thank you. Thank you, Shamimi. And Amni also said Blair is beautiful. Okay, that's good. Anyone else? About Terence, about Pierre, Francesca, Lexi? Wow, Amni said Terence is handsome. I like. Wow, you like to be.
He's handsome. He's rich. Some more. Come on.
Yes, it's also arrogant. Yes, I agree with you. He's also arrogant. Sometimes, oh yes, he's rich. CEO. CEO. Okay. Okay, that's good. So we'll proceed to the next slide. So as you explained, it was really good, which is character traits by Blair is beautiful. She also intelligent. Like she almost winning. No, entering the all competition. Uh, she also considered herself as Einstein, and she also come from wealthy family, and she also have dyslexic, and sometimes she also bit judgmental person, especially with maths. Okay. So the second character is Terence. He is also intelligent, yeah, handsome, and also arrogant because from the first um, video just now, we see that Terence is like a foreign exchange student to this the wealthy school. So he think he is handsome or what, but many fans like him. So he also a CEO of a company which is develop software and games company, I think. And then the next slide. Okay, about Francesca, she is like the antagonist character, which is she is like the opposite from Blair's. So Francesca is a rich girl. She also jealous, like jealous and also flirty. Like she flirt with Terence, but Terence ignore her, and she also likes to show off. And for the Lexi is Blair's best friend and assistant. She also supportive and kind. She also a great investigator. She investigate about about Terence, and she also hardworking. Next. Okay, last for the character traits is Pierre, a French boy. He's a pervert and rich and also flirty. So next is a quiz time. Okay. Okay, I'll give you the quiz question for you to answer. I will be giving you three 3 minutes or 5 minutes. 3 to 5 minutes. Is that okay? Okay. You may start now. Can you guys open the quiz?
Yes, teacher.
Thank you. Who is this Blair?
Teacher Yuna, they said that they have
Yes?
answering the quiz.
Oh, okay. I'm getting the response. Okay. So we're finished with the question. Oh, most of them got 90 to 100 marks. Congratulations. Yay. Okay, we're going to see the answer. So for the first question is, who is the protagonist? The protagonist is Blair. And what is the title of this short drama? My experience being in the Welch's school. And for the third question is, what is foil? Foil is the opposite of protagonist. The next thing. Who is Lex? The fourth is, who is Lexi? Is the best friends. And five, what is the character traits? Is a person's behavior or attitude. And for the sixth question, how many characters are in this story? Which is five. Okay. And for the seven question is, what is Pierre's character trait? Rich and pervert. Next. Question number 8 is, who is Francesca? She is a rich, mean girl. And for the question number 9, foreign exchange student, intelligent, young CEO of develop games or software based on this character trait. Who is this person? Now, which is Terence. And the last but not least is, what is the meaning of dyslexic? It's a learning disorder that involves difficulty reading due to problems identifying speech sound. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations to you guys for getting correct answers. That's all for our class. Thank you for joining.
Yay!
Bye. Stay safe.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you guys.